Hey, happy Sunday. Today we are going to talk about a question I see getting asked all the time. So I wanted to sit down and just give a very brief explanation of how much you should be eating. For the sake of this video, I'm going to obviously be using exact numbers just to give you guys a clear example of what I'm talking about, but at the same time, everybody is going to be a little bit different, and these numbers are going to need a little bit of tweaking to perfectly fit you and your goals. So just keep that in mind. First, I want to talk about like why you should care about this, and that's going to fully depend on your goals. Obviously, if you have a goal of weight loss, this is going to be important, but also if you have a goal of weight gain, whether that's just any kind of weight or specifically putting on muscle, this is also going to be important. If you like where your body's at, but you are a competitive athlete, this is also something that's going to be important. You want to make sure that you're eating enough. And also, I just think it's a good thing for people to be aware of. I think we do not know enough about proper nutrition and what we should be eating and how much we should be eating. And at least when I was in high school, the public school system failed horribly at setting people up for success when it comes to nutrition. And I just think as humans, it is a good thing to know what our body needs to function properly. So I just wanted to kind of sit down and do a simple explanation for those of you who maybe are confused or maybe are just getting started and don't know where to start. And hopefully this helps somebody. So the first thing we're gonna talk about is calories. Calories in, calories out is the most basic equation that there is, and it is foolproof. If you take in less calories than you put out, you'll lose weight. If you take in the same amount of calories that you'll put out, you will maintain your weight. And if you take in more calories than you put out, you will gain weight. So that is like the most basic level of how much you should be eating is calories. How many calories are you putting out? How many calories do you need to take in? So in order to know how many calories you're taking in, there's like a million calculators you can do online. The first thing to take into consideration is your basal metabolic rate. That's just how many calories you burn like being alive. And then on top of that, you have to take into consideration your energy expenditure. Do you have an active job or do you have a sedentary job? How often do you work out? Things like that. And then when you take all of that into consideration, you'll get your TDEE, which is your total daily energy expenditure. So your TDEE, the easiest way to calculate that is to just Google it. And there's a lot of calculators online. I suggest cross-referencing a couple because sometimes the results can, vary a little bit. So I just went to a regular old TDEcalculator.net, and that came back with a calorie count of 2,017 calories. So we have here my TDEE equals 2,017 calories. So this is going to be like your home base number. That's how many calories you need to just maintain day to day. And I will say, like for me, that number will vary depending on if it's a rest day or not. Obviously, if I have a harder workout, I might need a little more. If I'm resting, I might need a little less. But this is gonna be your home base number. This is the number you need to maintain weight. If you wanna lose weight, you're gonna need a little less. If you wanna gain weight, you're gonna need a little more. The recommendation for weight loss, let's write this down. So the recommendation for weight loss would be to decrease anywhere between 15 and 25% calories. For weight gain, the numbers are similar, but a little bit different. You're gonna want a 5 to 15% increase in your calories. So if we're going off my TDEE, my 2,000 calories, for weight loss, that's going to be anywhere between a 300 to 500 calorie decrease. And for weight gain, it's gonna be anywhere from a 100 to 300 calorie increase. Now, as you're going about either your loss or your gain, I would say start at the lower end. So for weight loss, for me, that would be taking my calories down by 300. For weight gain, it would be taking my calories up by 100 and kind of hang out there for a little while. Give yourself 2 weeks, see what happens to your body. If it's not working, then jump to the next number. Maybe I would lower to 400 calories, or maybe I would increase by 200 calories, and then see what's happening. And then if you're losing for a little while or gaining for a little while, and then you plateau again, then you can jump to that most aggressive number. I would not jump from your home base to the most aggressive number just because you wanna lose weight really bad. That's not smart. It might work for you, but it's not gonna be sustainable, and you're gonna lose weight potentially too fast. So then when you bring your calories back up to a maintenance level, you're just gonna gain it all right back. For this, I would say you don't wanna be in this deficit or in this increase. I guess you could be in an increase for forever. That's not gonna be a terrible thing, but I don't want you guys being in a decrease for more than like 3 months. Your body is just gonna need a break sometimes. So if you've been dieting for a few months and you're at the very most aggressive deficit, please don't go more than that. Maybe you just need to kind of slowly bring your calories back up, hang out at maintenance for a little while, give your body a break, and then revisit this exact same formula. And this is very repeatable. In order to do this in a way that you are going to be happy with long term, you want it to be a slow process. I really don't want you guys trying to lose or gain more than like a pound a week, give or take. That is going to ensure that you have long-term success. So that's your calories, right? Now, if you've been counting calories for a while, this is working for you, but maybe it's not really working anymore, or maybe you're a competitive athlete and you really wanna fine tune it so that you can get that extra step to kind of bump it up one level, that's when you wanna start counting your macros. So, the way to figure out your macros, you still wanna start with this TDEE number. That is still going to be your home base number for your macros. And the way to figure out your macros is, again, you can use calculators online, but I'm gonna give you some actual real life math you can use. So you wanna be eating about 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. So these calculations are all based on me being 135 pounds. Which is what I'm sitting at right now. Which is also why I say this number might be a little bit low, because I'm actually eating closer to like 2,400 calories a day. Anyway, like I said, it's all gonna need some tweaking. I've also been doing this for a long time, so the longer you do this, you can kind of start to get your body to a place where you can increase your calories but not be gaining weight. Anyway, back to macros. So this is all based on me being 135 pounds. So that means I wanna be eating 135 grams of protein a day, about. Then for your fat, you wanna be eating about 50% of your body weight. So let's say I would eat 65 grams of fat. And then your carbs are going to be based off your protein and your fat, because basically now your carbs are just whatever you have left over. But the way to figure out that is to go back and do the math from the calories. So your protein is going to be about 4 calories per gram. So this is 4 calories per gram, right? Which means I'm eating about 540 calories. Fat is 9 calories per gram, which means I'm eating about 585 calories. So now, back to your home base number. So I have to add these up and then subtract them from this number, which leaves me with 892 calories. Your carbs are gonna be 4 calories a gram, which means you're eating about 223 grams of carbs a day. And that's how much you should be eating. So if you're counting your macros and you wanna lose weight or gain weight, now where are you taking from, right? My suggestion, this is just my suggestion is to take those calories from your carbs and your fat first. What's going to work for you is actually pretty dependent on your body type. I am someone who responds really well to taking fat out of my diet and keeping in a lot of carbs. Not everybody is like that. Some people are going to respond better by keeping fat in and going low carb. So this is where you kind of have to do a little bit of trial and error, get to know your body, but keep your protein the same. And just really pay attention to how your body's feeling, and don't try and rush this process. If you stay patient and you track things and you eat the right foods, you're gonna get the results you want. It just might take a little bit of tweaking here and there. This is where like diet programs and diet coaches really come in handy, but I wanted to break all of this down for those of you who maybe don't have access to those things. So you can Google your TDEE, and from there you can now figure out everything else. And hopefully with this knowledge, you now also know how to tweak that either for weight loss or for weight gain, or if you just want to make sure that you're eating enough. I hope that was helpful. Another reminder, one more time, I'll remind you to be patient and to know that this is a very personal process. And this is a very personal journey, and everybody is going to be different. And everything I said here today may not work for you, but I'm hoping it's a good starting point. And then you can take this and tweak it and change it and manipulate it to work for you. But that's all I've got. So I hope that this was helpful, and I'll see you guys next week.